The message is, folks, is the great ones are awakened. They have been awakened. Now, it is not to say that these beings have been sleeping, but they are of ancient days. They are ancient. They're ancients. They are primordial beings. And if you look up the definition of what that word, what that term means, okay, primordial beings, or what primordial itself as a word means, this is something existing from, this is something existing from the beginning of life, of time. And so primordial beings are beings were ancient beings who were from the beginning. Yeah, they're the ancients. And if these beings, it's like, remember on the world when Celine, she waked up Victor, an aged vampire, a vampire elder, because he was one of, not the, but one of the first vampires, okay? One of the first vampire. It was like something that was audacious for a young vampire to take it on herself to awake an elder, a vampire elder. I'm getting a similar energy like that. I'm not really getting that it is before their time like that, but it is time, and they have been awakened to judge humanity. Now, they don't just judge humanity, the inhabitants of Gaia's system, but they also judge other celestial bodies and their inhabitants. Now, to the human eye, at a 3D level, Jupiter seemingly doesn't have any inhabitants. Or does Saturn? Or Neptune? Or Pluto? And they're now even saying Pluto is no longer considered a planet. It is a planet, just the same to me, but it is just different, because all the zodiacal frequencies are different, as are their celestial bodies, because they're supposed to be, because they bear different frequencies, therefore they cause a different effect upon living beings, including plants and animals, all kinds of organisms. And so these primordial beings, they're judges and elders, the greatest of the elders, in other words. And they've been watching. So when I say they're awakened, like I said, I don't mean they slumbered, because they're like ancients of days, okay? They cannot die. They were from the beginning and will be to the end, which there is no end. So you get the gist. But the end, and then the new beginning, and the cycles continue. The cycle will always continue. They've seen ends before. Now this is just another end that they're judging, and they're overseeing. And so years ago, I remember when I was married to my son's father, and I remember it was the first, I think, spirit is just like reminding me when this curse really began. These people are being judged, and that's because they allowed envy to consume them, and they've tried to sacrifice me on several occasions. They were envious of my marriage to my son's father, and this goes to a prophecy in which I was led to. Someone killed someone for their house, but they did not get it. Now that can be interpreted in many ways, because your house can also be your wife. Your house can also be your husband. Your house can also be your comfort. And you have a lot of people, they see you in relationships and they allow themselves to be consumed by envy. They destroy your relationships with the hopes of maybe, I don't know, getting involved with your spouse. But then you find that your spouse looks the other way. You feel what I'm trying to say? Some of the times they hit and miss, which is to hit and cut. You know what I'm trying to say? They don't offer them the same stability that they offered you, because the truth is, what decent woman, or which decent woman thinks of building a life with her sister's ex-husband or ex-lover or the father of her sister's children? That's nasty. You're not going to get any respect like that. He's just going to see you as a whore, a hateful whore. You have no respect for your body. You're not an empress. He's not going to marry you. And then also on top of that, he's just going to see you as hateful. Because why would you, of all the men in the world, you restrict yourself to such a small space to lock in your gaze on someone who had relations with someone of a seemingly similar bloodline? I'm gonna just say seemingly similar, because I know what, family or relative really means to me. And so you have a lot of that, where in which people, they destroy people's spouses to get with them, and it never works out. Either the spouse relocates or they, get with someone else. How well deserving. And I'm very optimistic. I'm very optimistic. I am not narrow-minded or small-minded to think that I have to, there's, a small, selection of people or, potential lovers or mates out there for me. And so it doesn't work well for me in this era. Okay, I'm gonna just leave and go somewhere else and have a fresh start. That's how it is with me. I like to explore and expand my horizon. But it's just there is like this curse, because I told y'all when me and the kid's father, we went on an anniversary outing with the boys. You see, they constantly have to be spraying the house, and that's because of the curse. And I remember some years ago, and that was after the anniversary thing, I believe. That was almost close to when he and I, separated. I remember it was about a Christmas time, and they had this, it's as though they sacrificed a goat. And I remember seeing a lot of stain, like blood-like stain on a rock that was around the back. I don't think it's there anymore. I'm not sure. I don't remember, to be honest. And we went to the country and we came back, I think. Went by people's place in the country and we came back and, we saw it and we were like wondering. Or was it that we were passing, we were going to the country, and we stopped there, and we saw the blood. I surmise it was blood, and it's kind of like I told y'all about the red marks that I see all around the place. There's one here in the garage. I saw, right at the side of the house where I go, and there's a pipe there where I catch water and stuff. There wasn't any at that window. And it was last night that I saw that they had put some there. Last night or the night before. A similar red hue. And I'm like, boy oh boy, they tied themselves to something so wicked and cruel that they can't get themselves out of because of envy and covetousness. And you see, and that's why you don't believe what people say. You observe people and you analyze them, and you analyze them some more, because you will know the real people, the authentic, genuine people. Because they attack me and they say, oh, what I'm doing is, demonic and it's going to cause curse. And they're cursed. They've been cursed. Long time now. Way before I started, exploring astrology and learning about astrology. Way before me delving into the intuitive arts, which is a part of my North Node, which is a part of my expansion and my life purpose. So, but people they're gonna try to pass the blame on to you, because it's easier for them. It's like with the COVID-19. Nobody wants to see COVID-19 as an act of God, a judgment for humanity, for being so money-grabbing, greedy, selfish, self-centered, and whorish. They don't want to see that. They want to blame Fauci. They want to blame Trump. They want to blame China. They want to blame scientists. They want to blame every motherfucking body but themselves.